In a quiet village by the sea, there was an old, weathered lighthouse that no longer guided ships, but stood as a symbol of forgotten times. The keeper of the lighthouse, an elderly man named Henry, had spent his whole life tending to the light, but now the lantern was dark. Henry had grown old and the world had changed. Ships no longer relied on the lighthouse, and the village had grown into a bustling town with new technology. One evening, as the sun set behind the horizon, a young girl named Ava came to visit. She was new to the village and had heard stories of the lighthouse keeper who once guided ships through stormy nights. Curious, she climbed the worn steps of the lighthouse and knocked on Henry's door. "Are you the keeper of the light?" Ava asked, her voice soft but filled with wonder. Henry, his face lined with years of service, smiled. "I was," he replied, "but no one needs a lighthouse keeper anymore. The ships have their new ways now." Ava looked up at the dark lantern, then out at the sea, her eyes filled with a spark of determination. "But what if someone still needs the light?" Henry laughed gently. "The light hasn't shone for years, my dear. It's just an old building now." But Ava wasn't deterred. "Can I try?" she asked. Without waiting for an answer, she climbed the spiral staircase to the top, where the giant lantern stood, gathering dust. With a grunt, she cleaned the glass and polished the brass. Then, with a twist, she turned the mechanism. Slowly, the lantern flickered to life, its light cutting through the evening fog. Henry, amazed, stepped up beside her. "I didn't think it could still shine." Ava smiled. "Maybe it doesn't matter if the ships need it or not. Sometimes a light is just for someone who's lost in the dark, waiting to find their way." From that night on, the lighthouse shone brightly again, not just guiding ships, but reminding the village that sometimes the smallest lights can still make the biggest difference.